Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Weisheit, licensed clinical social worker with Cherubim Home Care. Very glad you are joining us. And we always like to bring you updates on things that are good for the community and things that are good for our small businesses. And so we are glad to welcome to the program Tanya Harris. Tanya, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. Of course, you are involved with the Chamber of Commerce, the Home of Cherubim Chamber of Commerce. Very glad that you are. But there's a lot of value that the Chamber brings to businesses of all sizes in our community.
Absolutely. The Chamber has a laser focus on building stronger families so that we can build stronger communities. And one thing in particular, Keith, that the Chamber has put into place is a subdivision of a diversity task force. So excited to see the things that are coming out of that task force.
Yeah, and those are so very important because in this day and age, we need to find ways to make sure that everybody feels included, right?
Absolutely. Diversity is a win-win. We all win.
Right. And so you guys have something coming up. I want to flash it on the screen real quick to let people know this is something very, very important. So if you want to learn how a diversity, equity, and inclusion plan can benefit your business, please come out to the Chamber of Commerce. Know where it's located on Highway 311 on Thursday the 28th from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. The Homer Chamber office are virtually. They're featuring Dr. Wes Heath, who's the Director for Diversity and Inclusion at Ochsner Health. And we're going to have a workshop for an hour and a half that he's going to be on to be able to do that. Let's talk a little bit about the importance of that and a little bit about Dr. Heath.
Keith, this is going to be a very impactful session. The work that Ochsner is doing with a diversity plan is a win-win for our community. It's so important that we create pipelines so that people of diverse populations have the opportunity to maintain and sustain family-sustaining salaries. So it's going to be important that we come out, whether you are a business owner, employer, employee, we can all take that information and bring back to our employers.
And, it's one of those things where people may say, well, Ochsner, Ochsner's, involved in several of our hospital systems and they're involved in our community. What is it going to do? Well, they're developing and they're starting these programs there and really exercising with some great positive benefits. And we get to filter that and get that information down here in Omaha.
Absolutely. It's again, people get the opportunity to hear, to learn, and to create pipelines so that people of diverse populations get those opportunities. So I think that, as we continue to have more and more conversations about diversity, it's inclusion, and certainly we don't want to leave out belonging as well, because diverse populations have to have a sense of purpose at those tables as well. And when we begin to have those conversations, we begin to see change.
Yeah, and that's just it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to network in a positive way to help understand how businesses of every shape and size are beginning to include people and start to understand diversity. We talk about it all the time, but doing something about it is different.
Yeah, we're looking for action. Absolutely. It's totally about action. So, come out, listen in. If you can't attend in person, certainly register because seating is limited.
Right.
If you cannot attend in person, then certainly tune in virtually to the session. It's going to be impactful. It's going to be a game changer in our communities.
And people have the option, they can come and have lunch. So lunch it's cheap. It's $15.
You can't beat that.
No, where are you going to get a good lunch for $15? And really to get information that's really going to make a difference. And if you can't, you can always join virtually. But they can go to the website for the Chamber of Commerce, right?
Absolutely. You can go to our website. You can follow us on social media as well and get that information.
Yeah. And so I know that the Chamber is making a difference. Let's talk about how you feel like it's kind of helped for what you do and the work that y'all do at your place of business.
Absolutely. We've got a mentorship program as well that's been cascaded on this particular task force as well. So I think that as long as we continue to have the conversations and we're more intentional about the conversations, we've got to continue to have those conversations so that we can break down the silos and talk more about those biases that are unconscious to us so that we can see a change in the communities that we serve, the communities that we love, Keith. We're neighbors, we work together, our kids go to school together, but we still live, very different lives. And so we have to learn to embrace those differences and move forward.
Yeah. And, people very often may be wondering, okay, why do I as a business need to do this? Well, we need to understand how our community is changing. And quite frankly, we have a very different community right now than we did before August 29th of last year. There are a lot of people that have moved. There are a lot of people that have come in and are helping to understand and work with those different groups. I mean, it may help us during this hurricane season, if you will, to understand some of the people that are in our community that weren't a year ago.
That's how we learn and grow. We listen, we sit down, we have very intentional conversations. And I think the more and more we do so, we're going to learn and grow and build up our community as well.
Yeah, and we just need to be able to understand each other much better.
Absolutely.
And
You
if we
nailed
can do that, then we'll be better as a community. And again, that's the whole focus for what the chamber is doing and why they bring these kinds of workshops in for us all to learn how to do it a little differently or a little better.
Absolutely. And this is not the Chamber's first attempt at, cascading diversity agendas out to our community. We continue to do so as well. So we've been a pretty active committee. So we want to continue to have the community come out, participate, learn, grow, and let's thrive together.
And let's put that back up one more time, if you don't mind, Jim. Put that brochure up. Again, it's Learn How a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Plan Can Benefit Your Business on Thursday, June 28th from 11:30 to 1 p.m. at the Homer Chamber office, or you can do it virtually. Again, they're featuring Dr. Wes Heath, and he is the Director for Diversity and Inclusion at Ochsner Health, and we're learning from their system of what we can do. You can come and have lunch there for $15, which is nice and easy, or you can do it online. Tanya, thanks so much for coming on and sharing with us the importance of this and what you're doing and what your business is doing, and certainly what your committee is doing to make a difference.
Absolutely.
We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
All right. And guys, that will do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time. We appreciate you watching, and we always appreciate you following us. Stay tuned. A whole lot more here on HTV.